Hi, my name is Laila and let's talk about graphic design.
So what got me into graphic design? I think honestly speaking, design or anything creative is the only thing that I can do. Back in secondary school, I'm not academically strong. I'm really horrible at my subject. Art is the only thing that I can do. So I went into that direction. So from poly, I took a graphic design course in NYP. Okay, so in poly, basically what they do is they just teach you the basics of the basics. That's good enough to get you started. Quite a number of things were self-taught, like animation, Photoshop, certain skills that they don't teach you, Illustrator. There's a lot of things that they just touch and go. But a lot of other things were self-taught from YouTube or asking around better experienced designers and whatnot. So yes. So my favourite style is actually very inspired from the cartoon cartoon Adventure Time. Favourite show out of all time. It's so cute. It's so expressive It's so cute So my illustrations is actually derived from that So I play around, I explore around, but I feel that is my most comfortable and favourite style to work with. So recreating Studio Ghibli was actually a trend. I love anime. I tried to learn how to do manga and whatnot. I cannot. That's why Adventure Time was very simple and very cute, very fluid also. The best first step that anybody can take is to ask. I think maybe if you're already interested in graphic design, probably you have already followed people that you look up to, inspired by. And then, so the best thing is just drop them a message what advice would you give me to take? Ask them how did you start with this? What is the next best step for me? But personally, when people ask me that, I would say that there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Those are good enough to get you started. If you are really passionate about it, maybe a few years down the road, you can enroll a school. And then, of course, schools ada the pros and cons lah. When you go to a school, you learn the proper basics of working in industry. You learn all the fundamentals and whatnot, which is actually really important also. Just don't be afraid to ask lah. I think as creatives, we can all agree that asking is the best way to learn. Experiencing itself is another step to learn. So go je, take as many jobs as possible, whether you will fail or you won't fail. Explore. When I was starting, I experimented a lot of projects basically. And from then, I know what are my strong points, what I'm not good at, what can be better, I can make it more better even. What are the things that I can avoid, what are the things that people need to know. I've learned a lot of new things, and then I've unlearned it, and then I relearned it. So growing is a very important step for beginners especially.
What do you get into a creative slump?
I feel that a lot. So tired of it. I hate having creative slumps. One, because you spend an entire day, an entire week, you cannot get a great idea, you cannot get a concept that works. That is one of the things that I hate the most. That usually happens when you are mentally exhausted. Yeah, one is because you're mentally exhausted, or two, it has become a routine. You do the same thing over and over again. Your brain gets bored. You can't think of new ideas. If I had more time, last time I had more time, right? I go out for photo walks. Just go out to Chinatown, Geylang ke, Bugis ke. Just bring my camera, do some street photography. From there, I actually get a lot of ideas and concepts. People watch. I get a lot of ideas. When you have fun, you tend to forget things, and then things will just come to you naturally. Break out of your routine, do things that you are not comfortable with. Sometimes you don't have the time, going out of your comfort zone will actually help you a lot. But I think one of my biggest struggle as a graphic designer, I've been a graphic designer for 6 years. Okay, so my biggest struggle is actually when I just graduated. I'm a fresh grad, super new, just super excited I want to get a job. I didn't want to go degree. Because I want to get working experience. I also want the money. That's one thing lah. But as a fresh grad, I go to so many interviews over and over again. As a hijabi myself, back then I just pakai tudung and whatnot. I faced this thing that I felt so out of place in the creative field. One thing is because when they explain to me the working lifestyle, every weekend they have get-togethers, every day they have breaks and whatnot. I don't want to say the type of clients you work with is something that I don't want to work with. So the reason why I chose to work in Malay Muslim organisations particularly is because I can proudly say that the work that I'm doing is actually good work. So I can tell my parents, I can tell my family, my friends, all this work is actually for people, the Muslim community. The most impactful story or reminder that I had was actually when in Safina Institute I was actually really stressed. There's a lot of events and whatnot, so Ustaz Mizi actually reminded me whatever work that I do, whatever work that I put out is actually a form of pahala lah. I'm reaching out to the masses. Everybody is seeing all the content, all the Islamic content, the Islamic designs. So it's actually reaching out to the people lah. So with that line stuck in my head, whatever I do is a form of pahala. That actually changed my whole view of my works, What I think is very simple and easy to do, it's actually very strong and impactful, It's affecting people's lives. That just gave me a new sense of purpose in whatever that I'm doing. I want them to realize that all these simple things, even just a simple poster, it makes people relate even more. It appeals to people even more. When you design something appealing, people would want to go to it.
Okay, what's your favourite artwork?
I don't know, maybe you guys might find this familiar.
Oh yeah, kat Suntec.
Yeah, so this is the biggest, the paling direct punya poster or work I've ever designed. So that is actually for Spiritual Summit. It's a whole year of planning, and then after a whole year of planning, you finally get to execute on it. So feeling, the show, the feeling very shock. So macam you get to see it blown up at Suntec Convention Centre. It's super long. And it's not just there at that big screen. Even inside the hall, you have my designs. Even the collaterals that we give out to the participants is designed. Every bit of touch point, it's designed, And it's a very good feeling. It's very satisfying also. All the collaterals leading up to that event is also designed by me and the team and whatnot. Very memorable project for me. But mainly because the planning was very long, and towards the end, you get to see it live. That feeling is just chef's kiss. My name is Laila and I'm a graphic designer. You can follow me on my Instagram for more of my life as a graphic designer and my works and my journey and whatnot. And don't forget to follow GRTV for more content like this. GRTV is a media channel for Global Islam Relief, which is an organisation which helps those in need. So visit the link below to find out more. Bye!
Cut.